I'm almost speechless. It's just mind-blowing that my brother was elected Pope today.
Know this Pope better. In order to understand what helped shape him, you really have to come here to Peru, where Pope Leo, or Papa Leon as he is now known here, spent decades of his life working for the church. He started out as a missionary back in the 1980s here, and in total spent more than 20 years in Peru, eventually even becoming a naturalized citizen, as well as the Archbishop of Chiclayo.
White smoke billows from the Sistine Chapel chimney. Bells ring. Cheers erupt from the crowd gathered in St. Peter's Square. The ancient ritual repeats itself, but with a groundbreaking result. The declaration, Habemus Papam, we have a Pope, echoes through Vatican City, signaling the election of a new spiritual leader for the world's 1.3 billion Catholics.
Habemus Papam.
We have a Pope, an American Pope.
La pace sia con tutti voi.
Pope Leo XIV from Chicago.
But this time, the name that follows makes history. Robert Francis Prevost, a cardinal from the United States, steps forward as Pope Leo XIV, the first American Pope, the first Augustinian Pope, and a symbol of a church embracing global diversity. His election marks a profound turning point, not just geographically, but spiritually, highlighting a new era of pastoral outreach, humility, and inclusive leadership.
And an American Pope. Couldn't believe it.
Yes.
Never expected it. I mean, your feet aren't touching the ground. No, we're floating.
Pope Leo XIV was born Robert Francis Prevost on September 14, 1955, on Chicago's South Side, a region shaped by working-class grit, religious devotion, and ethnic diversity. Raised in the nearby village of Dalton, Illinois, he grew up in a close-knit family of devout Catholics.
So I was saying to my friends, look, the next pope could be from Dalton. And they says, oh, they'll never pick anybody from the United States. And sure enough, the one from Dalton wins.
From a young age, he exhibited a deep curiosity about the church and a quiet strength in his character. After completing high school, Robert attended Villanova University, a Catholic institution operated by the Order of St. Augustine. Initially studying mathematics, he also found his faith maturing through prayer, campus ministry, and philosophical study. In 1977, he took religious vows with the Order of St. Augustine, dedicating himself to community life, theological study, and global service. He later earned advanced degrees in canon law at the prestigious Pontifical College of St. Thomas Aquinas, Angelicum, in Rome, where he studied church law and deepened his understanding of ecclesiastical leadership. His early academic journey reflects a balance of intellect and spirituality, grounded in service and humility, the very principles that would shape his papacy decades later. In the early 1980s, instead of returning to a comfortable clerical post in the US, Prevost followed his order's call to mission and traveled to Peru, one of Latin America's poorest and most complex nations. He was sent to Chiclayo, a coastal city in northern Peru, to serve as a missionary priest. He lived among the people, learning their language, listening to their stories, and walking with them through political instability, poverty, and spiritual longing. His work went far beyond traditional preaching. He helped build schools, develop youth programs, and advocate for human rights. In 2002, he became regional superior of the Augustinians in Peru, overseeing their missions across the country. Under his leadership, the order focused on community engagement and social justice, rooted in compassion and mutual respect. In 2015, Pope Francis appointed him Bishop of Chiclayo, recognizing not only his administrative skill, but his profound pastoral heart. In this role, Prevost emphasized transparency, accountability, and healing, especially for victims of abuse. He helped establish diocesan guidelines to protect minors and worked to restore faith in the Church after years of scandal. By 2018, he had risen to become second vice president of the Peruvian Episcopal Conference, where he pushed for broader reforms and strengthened ties between clergy and lay people. His time in Peru left a lasting legacy, and it transformed him deeply. He became a bishop of the people, empathetic, multilingual, and mission-driven. Prevost's reputation as a global bridge builder eventually led him back to Rome. In 2020, he was appointed a member of the Congregation for Bishops, the Vatican office responsible for selecting bishops around the world. He quickly became known for his balanced approach, valuing both tradition and reform, discipline and dialogue. In January 2023, Pope Francis elevated him to prefect of the Dicastery for Bishops, putting him in charge of one of the most influential departments in the Roman Curia. In this role, Prevost helped identify and appoint bishops who embodied pastoral care and humility, qualities in line with Pope Francis's broader vision for the Church.
Francis brought then Cardinal Robert Prevost to Rome in 2023 to preside over the Pontifical Commission for Latin America.
It's not coincidental that Pope Francis chose me. I've been a missionary my whole life, and I was working in Peru.
As prefect, he emphasized listening to local churches before making decisions from Rome, strengthening the connection between global dioceses and the Vatican. His leadership style was inclusive, calm, and strategic. In 2024, he was made a cardinal, formally joining the College of Cardinals and gaining voting rights in papal elections. At this point, he was already being quietly discussed as a possible future pope. When Pope Francis passed away in early 2025, the Catholic world entered a time of mourning and transition. The conclave that followed brought together 120 cardinals from every continent. After 3 rounds of intense deliberation, on May 8, 25, Cardinal Robert Prevost emerged as the new leader of the Church. Choosing the name Leo XIV, he paid homage to Pope Leo XIV, known for bridging tradition with modernity at the turn of the 20th century. By invoking that name, Pope Leo XIV signaled a similar intent to respect the Church's heritage while preparing it for the future. His first papal address was deeply moving.
Questo è il primo saluto del Cristo risorto, il buon pastore che ha dato la vita per il gregge di Dio.
Speaking in Italian, Spanish and English, he acknowledged his American roots and Latin American mission, highlighting the universality of the Church. To be a shepherd, he said, is to walk behind the people, beside the people, and ahead of them when necessary. I ask for your prayers, not as a ruler, but as a brother and servant.
Petrus et Paulus, de quorum potestate auctoritate confidimus, ipsi intercedant pro nobis ad Dominum. Amen.
His tone was humble, inclusive, and hopeful. Pope Leo XIV has made it clear that he intends to follow the pastoral footsteps of Pope Francis, while also addressing new challenges facing the Church. His core priorities include social justice, advocating for the poor, refugees, and working-class families worldwide, youth engagement, building bridges with younger generations, especially in secular societies where faith has diminished. Vatican reform, increasing financial transparency, modernizing administration, and holding leadership accountable. Global inclusion, promoting bishops and leaders from Africa, Asia, and Latin America to reflect the true diversity of the Church. Interfaith dialogue, strengthening ties with other religions, especially Judaism and Islam, in pursuit of peace and understanding. Leo XIV is also deeply committed to addressing sexual abuse within the Church. His prior work in Peru laid the groundwork for clearer reporting systems, survivor advocacy, and cultural change within dioceses. Fluent in multiple languages, including Spanish, Italian, English, and some Quechua, he can communicate with a vast portion of the Catholic world, not just in words, but in heart and spirit. From the industrial neighborhoods of Chicago to the dusty villages of Peru, and now to the grandeur of the Vatican, Pope Leo XIV's journey is a testament to faith in action. His papacy reflects a church no longer tethered solely to European traditions, but one open to the world, embracing the voices of the poor, the immigrant, the forgotten, and the seeker. For Catholics everywhere, and even for those outside the faith, Pope Leo XIV is more than a historic first. He is a symbol of transformation, one who blends intellect with empathy, tradition with progress, and global leadership with deeply personal care. As his pontificate begins, one truth rings clear: the journey of Pope Leo XIV has only just begun.